Hey, what's going on, Music Familiar? This is Antman hanging out with the Drifter Kings at their brand new HQ or brand new studio. And first and foremost, man, thanks for doing what you guys do as artists and musicians. It's a really honor to be here with you guys today. Why don't you guys tell everybody a little bit about yourselves?
My name is Tony Harp. I'm the bass player for the Drifter Kings, songwriter and a singer as well. I'm one of the vocalists. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
I'm Doug Osgard. I'm the drums and percussion. We all write songs for the band, bring stuff to the table. And so here's Chris.
Chris Whitney, guitar and vocals. And what else can we tell you?
Well, so let's talk about the band as a whole, man. First, I guess, how have you guys been dealing with the pandemic and everything? How has the band been dealing with that?
Well, it's been a real blessing, Tony building the studio out here. We've been able to come out here and kind of break it in and help them work out the bugs, and very beneficial for all of us. And so, we've just been kind of almost literally woodshedding out here at the studio and working on our next record.
Yeah.
But no gigs.
No, right. You guys are
It's frustrating.
yeah.
But it looks like things are slowly picking up a little bit. Some things just got booked past couple of days, and it looks like a little bit more promising, especially in the warmer weather. But that's what, as Chris said, might as well still try to do something creative. So
You guys are used to being busy probably year round, I would imagine, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We play most weekends during the winter, as much as we can. But we're inside now, so as soon as warm weather comes back around, we can play outside more. I think everybody's safer that way, But yeah, like they said, we've just been hanging out here and trying to break the studio in and trying to break Doug in.
Tony, how long have you been, in music?
Oh, gosh. I've been, I started band in 6th grade or whatever, played saxophone for a while, and then played that into college. Played in the jazz band at college and saxophone, and then I'd always played bass, but then just kind of got more of a calling to start doing that kind of work, and basically playing bass in blues bands and rock bands for whoever wants to hire me, really.
What made you want to build your own studio and pursue this?
Oh, well, I have a degree in music technology from North Carolina, Asheville University. It's a no football school. They have football and basketball. Basketball and baseball, no football. But so they kind of support more of the arts. So they had a recording degree there, and I was living there. So we just kind of fell into that, and after that, I had little studios in my places wherever I lived. Made a little money on the side. But once my wife and I finally got here, we knew we were going to be here a while. So I take the plunge and build a space. We have some land out here. We don't have to worry about too many people around just yet, as far as I know.
That's beautiful. This is perfect writing environment. You're far away from the city, no interruptions other than interruptions you create.
Yeah, it is nice and quiet out here, especially on most days. But yeah, so that's why I finally decided to do that. And, did all the things right as right as I could afford to have them done, and so far it's worked out pretty well.
Are you? Do you have any plans on opening the doors to other bands and artists,
I'm
or?
hoping by mid-spring. I'm doing a lot of this myself, DIY. I've built a lot of the absorbers that are going up on the walls, and it takes a while to do those right and paint them up and make them like. Some of them I've already had, some of them I'm building new, but I still got to build more. Put up more sound treatment and stuff. But I'm hoping in a few more months it'll be ready, at least where I feel it's ready.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty close. It sounded pretty good in here though. So.
Yeah, it does. This is, I can tell this is your baby, definitely. You know, when you walk into some other artists and musicians' spaces, it's either their basement, their living room, their garage. You know, as soon as I walked in the door here, I was like, yeah, somebody who loves music put this together. You know, like, this is beautiful. So,
Thanks. Yeah, it's a nice place to go hang out during the day.
absolutely. Douglas, how long have you been in music, sir?
Well, let's see. Started playing drums when I was 10. So finally, when I was 17, 18, so I started playing professionally then. See where I come from. We used to, New York used to be 18, and and Jersey was 21. So there were all these clubs that eventually burned down. So started playing back then. And so that's, you know, it's like high school playing, I was older. But then came out to Ohio, went to college, came back. I studied with then a gentleman named Gary Chester. You can Google him. He did a lot of hits on the East Coast, like the Hal Bain of the East Coast. And when I was studying with him, he was writing these books, The New Breed. We were guinea pigs, things like that. And he actually got me some studio work, you know, because he managed three of us for about 2.5 years. And so I got to do some studio work, and also then started, my mother introduced me to, I can keep on going, this is ridiculous. My mother introduced me to a woman that was a friend of hers. My mother had a shop at the time, Rosemary McCoy. She used to be on the Brunswick label herself, and so she ended up becoming a producer. Used to produce Kool and the Gang, the Dells, stuff like that. Did a lot of work for her, and she got me in with I guess the oldies crowd back then. So spent some time with Joey D from Joey D and the Starlighters, 2.5 years with him. Did several tours with Bo, 2 tours with Bo Diddley. Did like these legend tours. You know, these artists would back themselves. We backed them, and they backed themselves up vocally. You know, Jimmy Beaumont from the Skyliners, and he would back up Jimmy Jones, the guy who did Time and Handyman. So did all that. Got signed for a while to Carrere, which was a subsidiary of Warner Brothers at the time, with a new wave band back in New York. Spent some time in Europe. Came back. Reached a contract. I'm just making I keep on going. This is terrible, but I've been in music a long time. So I won't bore you, but yeah.
Been in the game for a minute.
And so came out here and put a band together.
What's the biggest difference for you, you know, New York to Ohio? I mean, what's the biggest difference? I mean, you know, you think about blues and it's influentially huge in New York, and this is little Ohio. So what's the big difference for you between New York and Ohio and where you've been?
You guys don't know how to make pizza.
Nonsense.
But although I was used to the state a bit from going to college out here, but you know, the music scene has changed completely back east. Also, you know, a lot of CBGBs is gone, Max is gone. That whole scene when I was there, so wasn't familiar with the scene. When people tell me there was a great club called Stashes, I believe it, but you know, it was no longer around when I moved here. So it took a little while to get into, I guess, the least meeting other musicians. There were, but because I went to a bunch of the jams, so it is. It doesn't seem to be as cutthroat, I guess, because there's a lot of players. Doesn't mean all good players back east, but there's a lot of players, more than there is here. So the pocket's a lot smaller.
Chris, you've been in the band for a while. What have you been up to? You know, where do you come from as far as music's concerned?
Right. Well, so I started playing guitar in my around 11 years old, something like that, and you know, played with garage bands and that kind of thing, and then. Eventually, I went to the Ohio State University for music and studied there for a little while. And I've just played in bands ever since, before, during, and since. Too many to really name. I spent a long time with a band here in Columbus called Local Color that performed every Monday night on campus for 25 years.
Wow.
Never missed one. Never missed one. A lot of different players. A lot of really great players went through that band, and I'm just one of them. That was a jam band. That was a lot of Grateful Dead and Bob Dylan and things like that. Other than that, played in blues bands, and I played in a not at the moment, but I have the pleasure of playing with the Little Big Band of Columbus, which is a brass big band, which is a great, really great experience, really fun to do. So I played country, jazz, heavy metal, blues, a few blues bands. So I love it all. I like to play a lot of classical guitar. It's what I teach. I teach, any style of guitar, but I try to focus on the classical guitar when I do teach, just because it's a very specific.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess that's about it. Doug put out an ad in Craigslist, and I answered it.
Yeah.
And it's funny, he put out an ad. It said, blues band seeks singer/lead guitar player. And I thought, you never ever see that. And I wasn't even looking to join anything at the moment. I was just, I just look at Craigslist every now and then, just for fun, see if there's anything out there.
So that was your mistake.
That was my mistake. And so it's always, lead guitar player needs band, singer needs band. Let's get together, make a band, whatever. He's like, no, I got a band, we're working. We just need a lead singer who can play lead guitar too. And I was like, well, when do you ever see that? So I called him, and here we are.
It's funny. The ad was real specific. I mean, he just
That's
didn't
right.
talk about, you got to be able to play Piedmont. You got to be able to do this. So all these demands coming from me.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not singing.
I know what all those things are.
You got to take some direction. You can't be, no yells, all that kind of stuff.
So with all, it seems like, musically, each of you guys have been in the game. You got some skin in the game, as they say. And out of all the genres you guys could play and that you guys know how to play, why do you guys stick with blues?
You go first.
It's your band, so.
It's my band. They don't want to answer. It's my band. Okay. Well, I guess several things. First of all, age probably, but also, less hair, that kind of stuff. When I got signed out of what I guess they called new wave at the time, So the band was a lot like, just to give you similarity, if you can, the Scandal, remember that band?
Yeah.
We were a little bit like that, and shipped us out to Europe. So it's also an age thing, but it's I guess, a lot of my introduction to when I was younger was blues. I'm not just saying from the British invasion. I'm saying, I had an older brother also, so I also come from that doo-wop thing. That's why I'm familiar with that. And so then, friends of mine call him and say, just got to be Freddie King. You got to come over and run across around the block, and start listening. So it's a accumulation of several things, and I guess I'd say age is one of it. Because the music out now, nothing against it, I listen to a lot of stuff. I'm not in that loop. Hate to say, you're getting out of that loop. No, you know what I'm saying? We all are. And so that's another thing, I guess. My tastes have changed a bit over the years.
Well, I think the blues is kind of universal. Even younger kids are doing it now. There's all these blues education programs. But I digress. That's just what I came up in Oklahoma. It was hard rock or nothing, especially in that area, So it was, and blues is really popular, especially, I started really practicing and getting into it about the time Stevie Ray was getting big, and that was a big devastating day to a lot of my friends, when that happened. We were all in blues bands and doing that kind of thing, and so that's just kind of what was popular around my area in that part of Oklahoma, Tulsa blues, and then all the way down to Dallas, and all those guys always coming through. You know, it's the shuffles and everything. So, and then I was playing in a metal band of all things, Queensryche and Poison, all kinds of crap like that, and a bad one. There's nothing worth thinking about, you know. But then my friend of mine was like, "Oh, I'm doing this, band with horns and everything, and I need a bass player." And I was like, "Well, okay." So I went over and started playing with him, and I was playing, not very well, and he showed me a few things, and from there on, I learned a lot of Allman Brothers lines, bass lines, delivering pizza, listening to Allman Brothers over and over and over, running up and down the road, and going home and practicing at night. So, but I mean, yeah, that's just what I was always been around, that kind of based in blues.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, so blues is the DNA of American pop music, right? I mean, there is no American pop music without blues. So it doesn't matter what you're listening to or what you think you're listening to. You on some level you're listening to blues music because it's in everything. And so as a musician, you kind of have to care about that. I mean, if you're a listener and you just like heavy metal and that's all you like, or you just like hip hop and that's all you like, or whatever, that's fine. But as a musician, you kind of got to look at things. And you got to say, well, where's this come from? What are they listening to? And then what were the people they were listening to listen to? And eventually you're going to wind up with Muddy Waters or Son House or all these legends of the blues, and you get into it, you start listening to those recordings, and they're undeniable. They're just undeniable, and so it's a challenge to find your own voice. Listening to that stuff and saying, okay, well, what can I do? How can I take that and be myself with it? It's a challenge, and it's beautiful music, and so I mean, I grew up here in Columbus, Ohio, in the '70s and '80s, so that's just pure classic rock. I mean, that's really all anybody was listening to, at least where I come from, and so it's all Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin and all that kind of thing. So if you like that, well, it's a real short trip to the blues from Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin.
It is.
So I guess that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer. And I admit, like, you guys have been in the game a lot longer than me, but I always show respect to the guys and the girls as well who have been in the game longer than me, because they understand better that you have to know where you've been to know where you're going. And I noticed, hanging out with a lot of younger bands these days, they just don't get that concept of, like, well, I just want to play metal, or I just want to play rock. But do you understand the foundation behind what you're playing? Oh, well, no, I just want to get girls. I just want to get this. I just want to get, And so when I have an opportunity to sit down with a band, an artist, a musician, a true artist, musician, like you guys, it's humbling and educational, it's one big ball of educational wax that I love to just stuff in my ear and don't ever want to take out. If I was to ask each of you, what is one piece of advice that you guys would give to an artist, musician, anybody in the music today?
Don't do it. No. Well, there's a lot of things involved. I mean, it takes persistence. Don't give up. And you can't be everything to everybody, and realize that. So that's what why we do what we do. We explain that. So whatever genre you're in, have a style, and all that. That Chris was alluding to. Also, find your voice in that. Stick with it, but just as I say, it's a lot of hard work, but you're not everything to everybody, and you have to realize that. So I've seen bands that you're trying to too broad a spectrum here. So That's one piece of advice I give, I guess.
Oh gosh. I guess that's pretty good. I guess it depends on how much you love it. You know, you gotta love it, and I realize it's okay if you don't get paid a lot, because that's just the way it goes for artists these days. But I know a lot of people, myself included. I try to do the studio stuff as well as play live and play jams if someone needs fill in, if someone needs a bass player on the fly or something like that. So really, you just do everything you can if you're really trying to make a living out of it. But it doesn't hurt to have a good side gig as well. So don't give them up if they're working for you. But I don't know. You just gotta love it enough to keep doing it. I don't know.
Stick to driving a truck. Isn't that what they sold it? They said to Elvis, right? Stick to driving a truck. No, seriously though, hone your skills as a musician, I guess, would be my advice. Practice every day, whatever it is. And learn to read music and sing, no matter what. Doesn't matter, what you play. If you think it doesn't matter whether you sing or not, you don't want to be a singer. That's okay. You don't have to be a good singer. Just sing. It just helps your musicianship. It just makes you. I never wanted to be a singer. I just wanted to be a guitar player. But once I started singing, it's just like it just opens up a whole new world. Once you get learning how to read, I mean, you don't have to be good at it. You don't got to be a studio musician. You don't got to be a Nashville, studio guy. You don't have to be able to read like that. Just read a little every day. Just learn how to do it. And it's just going to open up doors, and it's going to make everything. It's just going to make you better as a musician. So that's about all I got to say.
You guys have any websites? Anything you guys want to plug?
Well, you can go to our website, which is www.thedrifterkings.com. You can follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook. All that stuff. We like to be liked, as Chris says. Who doesn't? And if you want, even on our website, you can sign up for our mailing list. We used to put out monthly, every 2 months. Once every 2 months, it would go out an e-letter. We have stopped that in a moment because what is it? Everything comes to a screeching halt.
Right.
But now it looks like things are picking back up again a bit. If you want to be on that, you can do that from our website. There's a contact page, and that will get you on our list, and that is going to go back up. We're actually, like we've talked about, recording a new CD, full-length CD. Hopefully, release. We haven't officially said we'd like to have it out at least probably by the summer, because there are some festivals that if they're happening, it would be nice to have that. But when that happens, you can purchase that also from our website and all the other outlets. But
Is there anybody that you guys want to shout out to? Anybody you guys want to show some love to while we're hanging out here?
We don't love anybody. No, I'm only joking. We love you all.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody struggling, who can't wait to get back to gigging, right? We're all just hanging out and hanging in there.
Yeah, we do miss playing for everybody. That's for sure. It's being home on a Friday, Saturday night is just getting weird. I'm getting used to it, but it was weird at first.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who ain't playing.
Yeah, right. Well, guys, this is Antman hanging out with the Drifter Kings, and there's going to be a lot more to come from these guys. Make sure you guys check them out, Drifter Kings, thedrifterkings.com. Find them on Facebook, and check out their music on Spotify and all those awesome platforms wherever you find music. Thanks for doing what you guys do.
Can I plug my studio?
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Yeah, my studio is, if anyone's interested in the future, it will be Kaylor Hill Recording. Kaylor Hill. So, yeah, come on out.
Kaylar?
LOR.
LOR.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have a Facebook page yet for that?
Not yet. All that's coming. Once now that everything's getting finished in here, I'm going to start concentrating on the side so people will see me finally.
Let me know. I'll produce an ad for you, and I'll promote you on the podcast as well. I'll get you out there. I already probably have 10 artists that have 20 books of material that are looking for some place to record. So, I'll be sending them your way.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks for doing what you do as artists and musicians, and thank you for allowing me to come into your intimate space and hang out with you today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right.
Raven black at midnight, like a spirit on the air. I hear a tortured song of sorrow, a twisted tune of despair. I think it's coming from my kitchen, and I wonder what's going on in there. I tiptoe down the hallway through the dizzy fog of France. Around the doorway to behold the gruesome sight. I got the devil in my kitchen, and he got a fearsome appetite. With a dash of fornication and a sprinkling of greed. Fries up the souls, the sinners, the oil of their misdeeds. He wants to have me for dinner, but I think I'm too scared to eat. Stomach's full of dread. I fall through the veil of ether, jolted up out in my bed. This nightmare's got me thinking, I better change my ways before I'm dead.